The night began with a burst of pure joy, one of those rare, golden moments that feels like it could stretch on forever. The house shimmered with warmth, wine glasses clinking, laughter rippling through the rooms, and the soft flicker of candlelight casting elegant shadows along the dining room walls. My wife, Clara, had just received a major promotion at her law firm, a milestone that lit up something in her I hadn't seen in years. She was glowing, magnetic, and completely captivating. Her smile lit up the entire room, drawing people toward her effortlessly. Watching her in that moment, I felt my chest swell with pride. To celebrate, Clara had invited her colleagues, friends, and even her boss for a dinner party at our home. I went all in, spending hours cleaning every corner, chilling bottles of wine, and pulling out a charcoal blazer I hadn't worn in ages. Everything had to be just right for her. When Clara finally walked into the living room, time seemed to pause. She wore a deep scarlet dress, simple but utterly arresting, the kind of dress that made everything else fade. I couldn't take my eyes off her. She noticed. "Too much," she teased, gently smoothing the fabric with her hands. "Not even close," I murmured, smiling. "It's perfect." And it really was. The entire evening felt like something out of a dream. The house pulsed with warmth. Stories were shared, laughter echoed, and each toast felt like a promise of brighter days ahead. I hung back a little, content to let Clara bask in the spotlight. She deserved every moment of it. But then, everything changed. It happened in an instant, so sharp and sudden it felt like someone had slashed through the atmosphere. Clara's boss, Victor, rose from his seat, wine glass dangling carelessly from his fingers. His smile was crooked, hiding something mean-spirited beneath the surface. Everyone turned to him, expecting a cheerful toast. Instead, his words sliced through the room. "James," he said, nodding toward me and raising his glass. "You do know how Clara landed that promotion, right?" He paused deliberately, letting the silence grow thick and uncomfortable. "That red dress she wore to the office last week. It stopped every man in his tracks." Then came a harsh, barking laugh that felt like a punch to the gut. It was ugly, jarring, the kind of laugh that chills your bones. The room froze. Faces stiffened. Forks hovered midair. My brain struggled to process. Was this a tasteless joke? Was he drunk? But he didn't stop. "She could wear a paper bag and still own the room," he continued, eyes locked on mine. "You're a lucky man, James. She's loyal. But I'll admit, just for one night, I was tempted to double her salary." The world seemed to fall completely silent. The laughter, the music, the warmth, gone in an instant. Everyone stared, waiting for my reaction. I couldn't look away from Victor. Clara stood stunned, her face drained of color. Her lips parted, but no sound came out. My grip on the wine glass tightened until I could feel the stem biting into my palm. I didn't think. I didn't speak. I just moved. 3 steps, fast and certain, and then the crash. Glass exploded against the side of Victor's head, the sound piercing through the silence, like a thunderclap. Gasps rang out. Someone screamed. Victor staggered backward, a streak of blood sliding down from his temple as he clutched his face in shock. My hand pointed toward the door. "Get out," I said, my voice low and firm. He didn't argue. He just stumbled toward the exit, humiliated, bleeding, silent. The others followed, one by one, awkwardly avoiding eye contact, slipping out into the night like shadows. In minutes, the house was quiet again, too quiet. Clara and I were alone. My hand still shook when I turned to her. "You're not going back to that place," I said, my voice steadier than I felt. Her eyes flicked to mine, filled with disbelief, and maybe something else. Fear? Defiance? "It wasn't my fault, James," she whispered, her voice trembling. "I don't care," I replied, sharper now. "If you go back there, we're done." The next morning, I woke to the hiss of the iron. Clara was in the bedroom, smoothing a blouse, acting as if the night before hadn't happened. "Don't do this," I said softly, almost pleading. She didn't look up. "I need that job." I stepped closer, my chest tight with frustration. If you walk out that door, we're over. The argument exploded. Words thrown like knives. Accusations, pain, silence broken by shouting. Clara tried to shrug it off, insisted that Victor had just been drunk. It wasn't a big deal, she said. And that's when it hit me. Maybe she wasn't just brushing it off. Maybe she was more afraid of losing her position than losing her dignity. I couldn't take it. I needed space. Grabbing my keys, I left the house, needing air, needing to breathe. When I returned that evening, Clara was curled on the couch, her eyes swollen and red. "He fired me," she said flatly. Her voice was hollow. Victor, now nursing his bruised ego and bandaged face, had fired her that morning. No warning. No severance. Just cold dismissal. I hadn't wanted it to happen like that. But deep down, a quiet part of me felt relieved. Maybe now she could finally see what I had seen all along, that staying under that man's authority was corrosive. A slow poison, eating away at her self-worth. Weeks have passed since that night. Clara's been sending out resumes, scanning job boards, chasing leads. She's uncertain, but I see something new in her. A spark. A quiet clarity. That dinner party, ugly as it was, ripped away the illusions we'd both been clinging to. It wasn't just about Victor's words. It was about the silent choices we make. What we allow. What we defend. I'm done letting disrespect slide, no matter who it comes from.